What is up? We're back for another video, and this time, like I said, we were on a topic of words and why words are so important. We ain't gonna care about that if you don't know the science behind it. Like, okay, that's pseudo, but can you show me some real science based on this and all? And I will. All right. This guy's video, from someone named Billy Carson, black millionaire, started his own business at the age of 12, had two by the time he was 17, and he's been very profitable in a lot of things, and he's very knowledgeable in a lot of things. Made more money than most of y'all parents and most of y'all probably ever will, honestly. So he's very knowledgeable information. And if he says it's true, and he started at a young age using it, you know what I'm saying? Even he didn't use this. A smart person picking on this type of stuff and telling you to do it, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? You gotta really ask yourself, like, okay, if this is true about the subconscious mind or about molecules and atoms, how can I get a better understanding of it? Well, here's the video for you right now. And this goes into the law of attraction and everything. This specific video kind of tell you the science on how it actually works. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go.
Here we are, the granddaddy of all quantum weirdness, the infamous double slit experiment. To understand this experiment, we first need to see how particles, or little balls of matter, act. If we randomly shoot a small object, say a marble, at the screen, we see a pattern on the back wall where they went through the slit and hit. Now, if we add a second slit, we would expect to see a second band duplicated to the right. Now, let's look at waves. The waves hit the slit and radiate out, striking the back wall with the most intensity directly in line with the slit. The line of brightness on the back screen shows that intensity. This is similar to the line the marbles make. But when we add the second slit, something different happens. If the top of one wave meets the bottom of another wave, they cancel each other out. So now, there is an interference pattern on the back wall. Places where the two tops meet are the highest intensity, the bright lines, and where they cancel, there is nothing. So, when we throw things, that is, matter, through two slits, we get this, two bands of hits. And with waves, we get an interference pattern of many bands. Good so far. Now, let's go quantum. An electron is a tiny, tiny bit of matter, like a tiny marble. Let's fire a stream through one slit. It behaves just like the marble, a single band. So, if we shoot these tiny bits through two slits, we should get, like the marbles, two bands. What? An interference pattern. We fired electrons, tiny bits of matter through. But we get a pattern like waves.
So you gotta look at that. See how the material, how like the marbles are different from the waves, and then you gotta wonder if electrons are so-called material, like a matter, why they have no waveform. See, these are questions you have to ask yourself. It's actually going to quantum physics, spirituality. Even if you look at the old Egyptian, one of the universal laws, everything vibrates. You gotta wonder, how did they know that all the way back then? Did we just figure this out now, or has this always been a thing? This is a question you have to ask yourself, you know what I'm saying, and find your own answers, and you will get blessed because of that. So, but let's keep the video going.
Not like little marbles. How? How could pieces of matter create an interference pattern like a wave? It doesn't make sense. But physicists are clever. They thought, maybe those little balls are bouncing off each other and creating that pattern. So, they decide to shoot electrons through one at a time. There is no way they could interfere with each other. But after an hour of this, the same interference pattern is seen to emerge. The conclusion is inescapable. The single electron leaves as a particle becomes a wave of potentials, goes through both slits, and interferes with itself to hit the wall like a particle. But mathematically, it's even stranger. It goes through both slits, and it goes through neither. And it goes through just one, and it goes through just the other. All of these possibilities are in superposition with each other. But physicists were completely baffled by this. So they decided to peek and see which slit actually goes through. They put a measuring device by one slit to see which one it went through and let it fly. But the quantum world is far more mysterious than they could have imagined. When they observed, the electron went back to behaving like a little marble. It produced a pattern of two bands, not an interference pattern of many.
So by hearing that, you're probably thinking like, why did it stay the same if they're observing it? Like how the law of attraction works. Once you say something, you let it go and believe in it. You kind of let it, like that's why the whole catchphrase, let go and let God is. So when you looking at it, like no matter what you see, everything you can say has a have a consciousness to it, you know? So you could tell why something that little, it knows you're looking at it, so it acts on how you see it, you perceive it. But if you're not looking at it, it's acting totally different. Either you're going crazy, or that thing has a consciousness of its own. And this is what they was probably wondering when they was doing this research.
Very act of measuring or observing which slit it went through meant it only went through one, not both. The electron decided to act differently, as though it was aware it was being watched. And it was here that physicists stepped forever into the strange, never world of quantum physics.
Hi, this is Billy Carson.
So yeah, Billy Carson, this is a little intro at the end of the video. But this is something everyone needs to know, like how electrons and protons, like basically how the quantum world works. Because once you know that, you can master so many things. Remember, the big thing about life is it's always about the little things. Like the little things make up the big things. You can't have a building without having a brick. You can't have brick without having mud. You can't have mud without it breaks down to like the smallest level. And once you figure that out, you can expand so many things. Like, and also go into your how your words have power. Like what else has a consciousness of its own? You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at so many different variables. So, but it's just a little taste on what's to come on the channel. But I just want to throw y'all this out there so y'all can know some science behind this. It's not just people just saying stuff, you know. So yeah, just tell you basically a lot what you need to know about the law of attraction, like the physical evidence, the scientific theory. If you ever doubted it, this is it right here. Tell you exactly how it works. No matter what's a marble, electron, it's all conscious, so you can program it. So, yeah. And I can show you a video on like how plants talking to a good and bad, you get different results on how the plant acts. What made the plant act differently? Was it conscious or was the plant not conscious? If it wasn't, why did them bad words even affect the plant in the first place in a negative way? First is you talking nice to a plant. It's always going to your body too. Like why do you listen to terrible? You ever heard a song about Ludacris, Move, Get Out the Way? When you listen to that, you might want to drive fast, but what made you drive fast? Was the music conscious telling you to drive fast? Because he said move, bitch, get out the way? Or like what was it? Either way, it affected you, and you need to know why certain things affect you. Why when you listen to a sex song, you want to feel, but what is that? You know what I'm saying? You could say he talking about sex and all, but obviously, looking at this, it could be something deeper. I'm just saying think outside the box, so that's all for this video, guys. So this is Mercury TV, you know, and I'm gonna start bringing this with some game reactions and everything. So, you know, that's all I want to say. I'm out.